Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you're watching the Inner Child Collective, where you and your inner child heal for the better. Welcome and hello. This is actually our inner child archetype reading, and I'm really excited about it. So, whenever you get the chance, please watch this video. And if you resonate with the message in any way, shape, or form, please like the video, comment on it, because I would really love to see you comment. I read the comments all the time. Also, subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss another video. And if you never miss another video, that would be awesome. Also, be sure to let people know that I'm here. Let people know that I'm here. So the more we talk about the inner child, the better. Also, that tells me that you really like the content on the channel. So with all that, let's get started with the reading here. So get started. So, dear higher spirit, let's see what our inner child has to say to us, right? Dear higher spirit, what words of wisdom do you have? What archetype do you have for our inner child? Oh wow. Oh wow, okay. So we got the magical child. And let me read the light attributes and the shadow attributes. So the light attributes are seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. Shadow attributes, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. So what I'm getting from this is that a lot of us especially in the spiritual community, are very much in the magical realm. We are very much magical children. When we were growing up, what I'm getting from spirit is that a lot of us, when we were growing up, we believed in possibilities. We believed that anything was possible. We believed in our own magic, in our own abilities to create a world that is viable, that is beautiful, that is vibrant. And a lot of us were very much connected to the spirit realm. A lot of us were very much connected to our own power and our own strength. And we were very much the type of children, right? A lot of us were a lot of like the type of children who were basically just living and glowing in our own possibilities. We could do anything and everything. And a lot of us were very much connected to the spirit world. A lot of us were seeing spirits. A lot of us seeing our ancestors. Those are who are protecting us. People and entities that were able to protect us, right? And as a result of that, we really believed in our own power. We didn't even think about it, right? I'm getting the vision and the image of a lot of little kids, especially those who knew and admired their own strength, those who had powerful imaginations. Okay, I'm getting children who are up to the age 6, to the ages 3 and 6 is what I'm getting, and as far as like the age bracket of these children. What I'm getting is that a lot of y'all were very magical. A lot of you were like very, in your own power, and nothing could stop you, until, okay, you face trauma. You are surrounded by adults who did not believe or understand your power because they did not understand their own. And as a result, they told you that you were on some nonsense. A lot of y'all were told to shut up and sit down. A lot of you were told that you were to grow up and not believe in these things. A lot of you were told, I'm getting a lot of folks who are very spiritual as children were told that they were to stop believing in that because it wasn't real. A lot of you are very much connected to your ancestors. I'm getting that a lot of you were protected and actually have seen your ancestors. And what ended up happening was that you were told, I'm just getting by the church a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm seeing a lot of, I'm hearing, my phone is about to go off. Oh, well, let's see. I'm seeing a lot of black children, right? Sorry, I got to turn my phone off. There you go. I'm seeing black children, a lot of black children Black and brown children, children who were surrounded by adults who told them that what they were doing was of the devil and what they were doing was not of God. A lot of you were told about Jesus Christ. A lot of you were told about Jesus Christ and how Jesus was going to save you. You were going to be covered in the blood and so on and so forth. And there are a lot of people too that have root workers in their family, root workers in their in their ancestral lineage. So be aware of that. You are taken away from that, and there I'm getting a lot of us are because of our magic and a lot. Um, because of our magic and what we've been exposed to as adults, we are being shown our magic again. So a lot of us are being, told to study root work, study hoodoo, study and like be and to like to do ancestral work, right? Do ancestral work, and also you can still believe in God, you can still believe in Jesus. There's nothing wrong with that, but also know of your heritage. I'm just getting that a lot of us as children, we were very much connected to our African roots in regards to our magic. The flip side of that is that we had people who did not understand their history, understand their part in our history, as children. So they did not see their own magic, right? Anything and everything is possible. And also, I'm getting that a lot of people who have gone through trauma, have also been told, by the world that, you know, there are certain things you are to do. There are some protocols you are to follow in order to be successful, in order to be just to be successful, in order to be accepted, right? A lot of us have been pushing down our own magic and not believing in our own magic and not believing in our own divinity because the world has pretty much told us so much. I'm literally getting from spirit that part of the reason why we are where we are is because a lot of us are not using our manifestation power, right? We do not believe in our own magic. And now we're being pushed through a lot of political movements and a lot of tragedies that are happening in this world, especially Black folks. We're told to use our magic, in order to fight the system, in order to fight, for what's ours, and fighting for equity, and to basically use that equity to use our power to like get equity, right? At the same time, we do have these shadow attributes, and basically, a lot of us are very much pessimistic, falling into our depression, falling into a lot of these roles that we know don't fit us. Okay, we were told time and time again. I'm getting this is like generational historical stuff that I'm getting. Okay, I'm getting that time and time again. A lot of us have within our DNA trauma, historical and generational trauma. We are carrying the wounds of our ancestors, okay? We are carrying the wounds and the pain and the suffering of our ancestors. And as a result, we are in so many ways being forced to reenact a lot of those things, especially when we're children, and it comes from a lot of the pain and suffering that we are struggling with, not only from generational trauma and historical trauma, but a lot of the trauma that has been inflicted upon us in this lifetime. So a lot of us are in survival mode, very much optimistic or pessimistic, pessimistic, depressed, very discouraged, very angry. And I'm just getting a lot of discouragement as a result of what we've gone through, not only within our own homes or, within institutions that we have been, introduced to, but also like within our own household, right? And we've taken in a lot of those messages, okay, as a result. And so we don't feel our own power. But that what I am getting though, and that is that's shifting. A lot of that is shifting. A lot of that, especially with everything that's going on now, with all these tragedies happening. The Black Lives Matter movement is a huge example of people really seeing their own power. a lot of people are seeing not not only their power politically but personally, because they are now seeing. Okay, I'm seeing that now people are awakening. A lot of people are awakening to their magic, and it was like pretty much saying like, no, we ain't doing this right now. And it's coming in. I'm just getting like protesting and ancestral magic and just seeing our own power and just basically tapping into that old ancestral power. I'm telling y'all now, a lot of folks, a lot of people, who have gone through generational and historical trauma, they're being awakened. Something's being reignited in them. And that tells me right there that a lot of y'all are like tapping into your ancestral magic. A lot of you are starting to realize your power from your African roots, right? African roots, Afro-Latino roots, Afro-Latinx roots. I'm just seeing a lot of colonized and marginalized people standing up and just like from the inside out recognizing their entire power, recognizing the full extent of their power, and it's coming out in their creations, it's coming out, or their creativity, their creations, their work, whether it be political, or through writing, or through things like what I'm doing. Like, we are now seeing the power that we have within ourselves, and is being awakened by what I'm getting is that these cops, you know what I mean? Like cops who are in all these institutions that have told us that we are not valuable, and our lives are not worth the trouble. They're not worth any of this. I'm getting a lot of, at least in the year 2020. And I'm getting in Virgo season. A lot of people are getting tired. A lot of people are having enough. A lot of things are coming up coming up to the surface. And to be honest with you, a lot of us are now seeing our magic. Okay, this is the archetype that many people are tapping into. We're now seeing our magic. We're now seeing that another world is possible. Yes, there are people who believe in the system, but there are people who believe in this, believe in something much greater and something much bigger, and it's showing in their work. That's why a lot of people are now raising their voice, because they're now seeing that their words cast spells, their actions cast spells, right? And it starts with that mentality of having power. Okay. So a lot of us are now looking and seeing our possibilities despite what's going on. Okay. So let's see what Spirit has. Spirit. Ooh, there's a few cards that came out. See? I got Yameya. We got Yameya, Grandmother Ocean, Primordial. We also have Soul Cage, Rescue, Escape from Captivity, and Restriction. Yes, like people, what I'm getting is that people are awakening, okay? People are awakening. They are calling upon Orisha. I'm getting at some of y'all are working with power other entities that are much greater and much more powerful than anything I ever heard of. A lot of people are working with the Orishas. A lot of people are working with their ancestors. A lot of people are working with herbs and doing types of divination, and doing it in a way that it not only empowers them, but also like empowering them. Not just, I'll say this, not just empowering you, personally, but also politically. Okay, and I'm also getting in some cases sexually. A lot of you are now waking up to your magic, and now a lot of people are now waking up to the to this to the Orishas, and having having Orishas call their head, and basically allowing themselves to know their history in a way that is just like basically the most beautiful I've ever seen. And like, despite all this is going on, like despite all the cases of police brutality and the cases of being discriminated against and all the intersections being weaponized against us, because a lot of us have had our intersections weaponized against us regardless of our race and ethnicity. What ends up happening is that you're taking all of that anger, you're taking all of that rage, and you're using it to your advantage by saying like, no, we're not doing this. You're using that all these emotions to empower yourself and to create magic. We are to be careful though, in regards to how we use that magic, because again, everything, as far as our intentions and our words, they cast spells, and we are to be careful as to how we utilize those spells, because we, unfortunately, there are people who are so wounded and so and discouraged and very hurt by how they were treated, that they are going to use that magic and turn it onto people that don't deserve it. And what I mean by their own comrades and their own people, right? There are people in your life that want you to succeed, that are looking for y'all to succeed, and it's best to use that magic, to protect yourself and to protect people you care about, and not necessarily like use it against, someone, because for one, um, that is not, I'm getting like, for the most part, a lot of you are not supposed to be using your magic like that. And also, like, how is it empowering your community? How is it empowering you as a person? How is it empowering to use that magic and hack somebody with it? And I'm not saying like, and no shade to anybody else, but be aware of how you're using your magic and who you're using it on, okay? But for the most part, what I'm getting is that a lot of people are like acting out of hurt, and I'm feeling a lot of hurt, and I'm feeling a lot of pain because of a lot of the grief that's going on. And usually, like, when I feel this much grief, it's very knee deep, it's very ancestral in nature. So you have people in your life who are very much hurting. You are hurting because you're tired of your people being hurt, okay? You're tired of your people being hurt. You're tired of you're so tired of your communities being hurt. You're tired of people who look like you and act like you being hurt, and being hurt because of who they are, because of their attributes and what they provide in this world. They didn't do anything, is what you're saying. Like, nothing warrants this response. And I'm getting a lot of activist anger, ancestral anger, like the ancestors are angry, the ancestors are crying because of what's happening, but they're also giving you strength. So be aware of that. That's why you got this Yamaya card. There's a lot of people, women especially. I'm getting like women are the forefront of these movements. Women, uh, whether they're cis women or trans women, they are the forefront of this movement. And so there's a lot of feminine energy involved in this. So there's a lot of nurturing, there's a lot of mothering, parenting, and and caring for the community. There's like this maternal energy that I'm getting too. Like, all the women who are involved in this, they are carrying the community. So this is the time for folks to like give women that support the women in here, support them, because they are the ones who are putting so much of their power and so much of their themselves. They're putting their whole soul into these movements, in these political movements, and in the home. They're putting they're putting the whole soul into this. So please be aware that these women are to be uplifted, because they're putting so much of themselves into this. And also, I'm getting like soul cage. You know what I mean? Soul cage, rescue, escape from captivity or restriction. People feel trapped. I'm getting people are feeling trapped. People are feeling as if the system as it is like choking them almost. It's trying to restrict them. It's trying to put them back in cages. It's like trying to put them where they belong. And people are like feeling that energy, right? People who are very much empathic and very much a practitioner of their magic, they know when someone is trying to restrict them, which is why we're being told to protect yourself, to use your magic, to protect yourself by every means necessary. Okay? Protect yourself by any means necessary. What I'm getting is that as far as like the archetypes, a lot of us are now reclaiming our magic. We're remembering who we were and how we were when we were children. We're remembering the incantations. We're remembering the divinations. We're remembering the prayers that we've said. A lot of you are using Psalms, the book of Psalms, which is a book of spells. So a lot of you are using that, okay? So like a lot of you, even though you were raised in Christian homes or raised in like homes that didn't like involve magic in any way, shape, or form, a lot of you are using a lot of what you learned in those days to break the chain of oppression and to break the chain of a lot of the trauma that was been passed on to you from one generation to the next. I'm just feeling a lot of ancestral magic, and it is powerful in these streets. Is very powerful in these streets. And the reason why this is coming up is because of all that's going on and all the energy that I'm tapping into. And a lot of this stuff reminds us of what we used to go through when we were children. A lot of what the tragedy and the trials and tribulations of being who we are and being targeted because of that's some childhood shit that we went through, right? A lot of us are being triggered right now because that's one of the reasons why a lot of us are going through it, as far as the emotions right now, because it reminds us of what we used to go through when we were children and what we've experienced as children, what we've witnessed as children. We've seen someone get shot. We've seen someone getting beaten by the cops. We've seen someone get hit in the face by a parent or a caretaker. A lot of us are wounded children, as in addition to magical children, because you can be one and then more than one archetype. So a lot of us are being triggered in some way, shape, or form. A lot of us are like really pretty much tapping into that wounded warrior, that wounded child archetype energy as well, right? A lot of us are protectors. A lot of us are, which is one of the reasons why a lot of us are being told to use your magic to protect the community, to protect the people within that community. Because in addition to being a wounded warrior, you're also a magician. You're also an alchemist, right? So that tells me right there, like a lot of y'all are being told to like use your magic to better the community, and while you're doing your own healing work. In fact, being involved in your community or doing community work, what I'm getting is that is part of your healing process. It's part of the healing process. It's part of that. So whatever, I'm just getting that um, whatever you're going through, the community understands you. Whatever you're going through, the community understands you. A lot of y'all you are doing community work in some way, shape, or form. You may not be out here on the streets, but you're definitely using your. If you're not on the street, you're definitely using it. Using your platforms or using your voice as a means of healing and as a means of empowering the people in some way, shape, or form. You understand? That's what. And restriction is not something that you live and die by. This is not. In fact, you're fighting against this. A lot of you are fighting against this, and you're using using a lot of your abilities and a lot of your platforms, and a lot of your power to fight this restriction that has been placed upon you in some way, shape, or form, like being caged or being told that you are not able to do anything. That stems from a lot of generational and historical trauma that has been passed down to you and passed down to your people, and you're like, listen, this is not, my ancestors did not die for this. My ancestors didn't die for this. My ancestors did not die for me to be here restricted and being told that I can't do anything, that I don't amount to anything because of who I am. Whether it be your family members, your immediate family members, or some cop on the street, or a teacher who really doesn't like you, or somebody who you don't know, calling you something that they have no business. That's their way of restricting you. And you're not here for it. Your soul is basically saying, like, nah, we ain't doing this. A lot of you are fighters. A lot of you are fighters. A lot of you are basically calling upon your ancestors, the power of your ancestors, and saying, nah, we ain't doing this right now. We ain't doing this right now. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of y'all are willing to risk your life, or willing to risk your safety and your freedom in order to be free. in order to be, you know, in order to fight for equity, not just equality, for equity. Yeah, I'm just getting like it's a lot of you are just tapping into your magical child archetype, okay? Because and a lot of you are taking in your like taking into account your own childhood experiences, okay? Yeah, we got divination, prophecy, fate, destiny, future fortune. A lot of you are diviners. A lot of you are able to see the future, are able and able to use your magic to like navigate through the system. A lot of you are doing that already. A lot of you are being told to tap into your energy. If you tap into this energy, if you have not, a lot of you are being asked to do that. Okay, because a lot of you are like people. Listen, some of the most powerful people that I have known, as far as like diviners and root workers, a lot of they're protesters, they're activists in some way, shape, or form. They're using their magic in some way, shape, or form to protect the community from further harm. This is the energy that we are to tap into. And so what I'm getting is that as magic, a lot of you are magical children. A lot of protesters or a lot of activists are magical children. Y'all have this magical archetype, and you are to use that accordingly. Not just for your own healing, but to help the community in some way, shape, or form, because that is a part of your healing. You are to use your magic in order to fight the system, in order to either and to make a better like community, to build a community. We are to. I'm just getting that it's just time. It's time to use your magic. It's time to use everything that you've known, everything that you've earned, or learned from your ancestors, and to forget everything and anything that you've heard about your imagination being just that, an imagination. Your imagination is a form of divination. With divination, there is hope, especially if you use it to empower yourself, to unlearn those messages of disempowerment. Because I feel like that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, um, a lot of folks, have just like simply given up on their magic, is because of the messages they've heard. In order for you to know your power, to know your magic, regardless of whether it's in the form of divination, or whether it's a form of the written word, or whether it's a form of even knowing your own divinity, in order for you to know your own power and to rediscover the power that is innate in all of us, we are to decolonize our mind by unlearning those messages, unlearning those messages that we are not good enough, that we are not powerful enough because of who we are and our and certain attributes that we may have. I'm being told to pull another card because I'm being told right now for y'all to get another card here. This is Coral's wisdom, colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. We are to be patient. We are to be patient with our magic, and we are to be patient with our work, and we are to be patient with ourselves. Time. This stuff takes time. A lot of what we're going through takes a lot of time. And a lot of us once like we are, in some way, shape, or form, a lot of us are like demanding change, and it's okay for us to demand change, but realize that, this shit really does take time. We may not get it tonight, but if we keep going and we keep going, you keep using your magic, the changes that you are looking for, the changes that you've been fighting for are going to, take they're going to take into form. They're going to come into form. What I'm getting is that when you start to realize your power and you start to unlearn those messages, when what ends up happening is that you learn over time new tactics, how to use your energy, what to fight, what not to fight, and to learn how to keep and just to keep at it and keep going, and everything will come into place. I'm feeling what I'm getting is that a lot of what we are fighting for and a lot of what we are looking for as far as our when we use our magic, when we use our energy for the good of ourselves and good for other people, a lot of what we are fighting for is going to come into light. It's going to come into the light. It's going to come and become a reality. A lot of what we are looking for is going to come into a reality. People, what I'm getting is people want equity. People want equity. I know seems like this is a very political, reading, but what I'm getting is that a lot of this archetype came up because a lot of people who are in the community who are hurting and working for something much stronger, much different, working for towards a better world. We will get that better world, even in this lifetime. And a lot of us are going to see that a lot of these profound changes come to light. I'm getting that people will be old and gray, but we will see a better world. We will see a better world. Okay, in this lifetime, we will see a better world, and of it's because of what a lot of us are healing. It's because of the healing process. It's because we are allowing ourselves to be heard, and we are allowing our magic to be seen. A lot of and this also it means that a lot of us are seeing our worth for the very first time. We are seeing our worth through our political work, through any sort of community work. We are seeing our worth for the first time. We are seeing what we are capable of. We're seeing what we're capable of. That's the magic, seeing what we're capable of. Okay? So there's going to be a lot of changes, that's happening on the political front as a result of what we have learned about ourselves. Oh wow! So we got the ghost dance. What I'm getting from this card is that for words of encouragement, we are to be aware of our ancestors because our ancestors are near. Okay, our ancestors are near. Our ancestors are near. What I'm getting. Okay, a lot of us feel like spirit is not working behind the scenes or spirit is not aware of what's going on, but our ancestors knows what's going on. I'm also being told to read the book here. Also look up the number 22. So the invitation is this: the ancestors have a message of healing and a powerful medicine to offer you. Create a sacred moment at your altar, light a candle to them, and let their wisdom infuse you. At this stage in your life, you are done repeating their tragic stories. Step into the abundance that is offered to you. Receive the gift of those that come before you and write a new story for your life. That's what I'm saying. Your ancestors are looking out for us. We are writing a whole new story with our magic. This is the time to tap into that ancestral energy more than ever. In order to heal, and in order to heal ourselves, to heal our communities, and also to heal the world. Those who are meant to hear this message are not here to just sit here, pay bills, and just like turn into dust when the time comes. We are not here for that. Those who are meant to hear this message of the magical child, we are being told that this is the time to use to use all that magic that you have within yourself, to rediscover yourself, to better the community, to better yourself, and to better the world and the people in it. We are here to basically remind people of their power, but we are to rediscover ours. And the other way we are to do that is by tapping into our ancestors. The word of encouragement here, according to the Ghost Dance card, is to tap into that ancestral energy so we can create a whole new world by creating a whole new story for ourselves. We are not our trauma. We are not our ancestral trauma. We are not our historical and generational trauma. We're not here to just carry on a story filled with trauma that our parents have given us, that their parents have given us, that their parents have given us, and so on and so forth. The reason why we are going through what we're going through now is because we are here to create an entirely new story, a new story that does not involve us being hurt over and over again because of the system, because of our own thinking, because this world is messed up. It's not, you know what I mean? That's not what we're here for. Those who are meant to hear this message, you're being told to use your magic to the best of your ability to empower yourself and to create a whole new reality for generations to come. But we are to believe in our own magic. We are to believe in our own abilities and our capabilities. That's the only way we're going to be doing that. And the way to do that is by decolonizing your mind and recognizing that a lot of what we know about ourselves or what we learned about ourselves, all those negative messages, they stem from white supremacy, and they stem from white supremacist ideologies that ultimately permeated throughout our entire communities. And in fact, throughout the entire world, to the point where we are affected. All of us, not just black folks, not just non-black folks. Everyone. We are to, and those who are colonized and marginalized, we are to create a whole new reality for ourselves by basically recognizing our own power and recognizing our own strength, and know that we are capable of changing entire worlds. Okay, so that's all I have for this week's reading. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, by all means, let me know in the comments. I love reading the comments. You can also like and share this particular video. Please subscribe to the channel, to the Inner Child Collective channel, if you would not want to. If you don't want to miss another video. That's what I meant to say. Also, if you are on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, social media in general, I'm there. By all means, follow me on there so you will never miss another post or anything like that. If you would like to have a more in-depth reading, you can just go ahead and click on the calendar, in the description box, to book a reading. Okay, so thank you again for everything, and yeah, that's it. That's how we do things, right? And until next time, peace.